What's good, YouTube? It's your man Rage King back with another one. Yes, another upload to the channel. And before we get started, actually, y'all please go down there and hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that share button, and hit that bell for notifications if you're new. Welcome to Wrestling with Rage. This is how we do Rage and Rebels. Crown up. And if you're new to the crew, welcome to the Rage and Rebel Revolution. Now let's vibe. And y'all, Austin Theory, former Mr. Money in the Bank, is Mr. Money in the Bank no more, as he fails to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Seth freaking Rollins, man. Let's speak on it. Bruh. Let me just say this. I know a lot of people, well, Theory's been buried. Oh, he's not going to be. Bro, chill out. Theory's only 25, bro. I'm 29 my damn self, and that's still pretty damn young, all right? He's 25 years old, bro. I'm pretty sure in the next 5-10 years he's gonna recover from this. All right, I'm almost sure of it. All right, and this is just me. I'm one of those that is of the mindset he should not have been called up to the main roster anyway. He should be feuding with Braun Breaker for the NXT title, because Braun Breaker needs a top heel to go against, and who better than someone like Austin Theory at this point in time? But I'm not booking the show. That's just my opinion. And I'm gonna also say this too. The guy's gonna recover from this, but I'm also say this too. I was also on the train of him never winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. I thought you had other options that were better. You had Kevin Owens, you had Sami Zayn, you had even Drew McIntyre, you had Bobby Lashley. You had legitimate guys who could have used that push at that point in time that simply didn't get it because of Vince McMahon's favoritism and infatuation with one Austin Theory. I don't think he should have ever won the Money in the Bank briefcase. However, if he's got it on him, I don't have a problem with him losing it, because let's just be honest. Who is he beating, even if he was going after another mid-card title on the main roster right now? Who right now is he beating for the championship? Gunther? I doubt it. Not with Imperium by his side. Roman Reigns in the Bloodline? Not when he's got 2 championships on him. Nah. Which, that's another discussion for another day. Roman should have never been, he should not have had both championships and should not have held both championships to this point in time. He only needed one. And yet they gave him both. Big mistake there. Another video for another day. Who is he going to beat? Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins is white hot right now. He's a visionary right now. Seth Rollins is white hot right now. Theory has no business at this point in his career beating Seth Rollins for any reason. For damn sure a championship and a failed Money in the Bank briefcase situation. I have no problem with him losing. My whole thing is why have him lose in the way that he did? You understand what I'm saying? Him losing is not my issue, but the way he lost was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna. It was pretty bad. Again, can the guy recover from this? Absolutely. He's only 25. He's got a lot more. He's got a lot more career left ahead of him, barring catastrophic injury. But for all that, why not just have him take that Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in on somebody like Braun Breaker? What that does is, since Theory's already been on the main roster, as I stated before, I think he should be one of NXT's top heels right now instead of being on the main roster, constantly losing or barely winning against people he has no business winning against right now. Why not cash in on the NXT championship? That keeps the Money in the Bank briefcase. And, you know, just because you win the Money in the Bank briefcase doesn't mean you have to win every single time. Let me get that point across, too. However, if you wanted to do it in a way that kept the Money in the Bank briefcase, for lack of a better word, relevant, to make it look less like a gimmick and more as like an opportunity to boost your career high, why not have him cash in on one Braun Breaker? One, since Braun Breaker's a face, it's going to give him more sympathy because he never saw it coming. That'd be something never before seen, which is something somebody like Austin Theory could have used right now. Never been done before. He's already been to the main roster, and the main roster know his name. So seeing him and hearing about him cash in on the NXT champion Braun Breaker would do what? Bring more eyes to the NXT product, which they really need right now. Brings more eyes to the product. Now they have a superstar that they could legitimately put on that show, and people recognize, people know, people identify with, and guess what? People actually hate. Oh, and by the way, it also gives sympathy to your babyface that you want to get out there, you want to put out there, and now people will want to figure out who's going to beat this guy. And guess what? When you have a guy like Theory who's already so hated by so many of the fans, that does nothing but give the next person y'all want to build up as the face more sympathy, more fan support, because they hate this guy right here on your screen so much, the next guy they put him in the ring with is automatically going to get cheered because they simply don't want to see him win. How is that hard to figure out? I'm a fan. It's just my opinion. But that right there, him cashing on the NXT championship would have been exactly what Theory would have needed. He did not need to lose to Seth Rollins, especially in the way that he did last night. I just didn't think that was the way to go. Again, do you need to win Money in the Bank every single time you win it? No, but at the same time, him losing and then him losing the way he did, it kind of diminished the Money in the Bank. Did it diminish Austin Theory? Yeah, but he'll recover from this. But it also diminished the Money in the Bank briefcase, in my opinion, in this situation. All you had to do is have him cash in on Braun Breaker. Have Braun Breaker go against him, have a top heel to go against. Now he's doing nothing but building up Braun Breaker. Now Braun Breaker and Austin Theory can further their rivalry on the main roster. Like, to me, that seemed to be the way to go if you had no champions that you wanted him to defeat right now, but you wanted to get the Money in the Bank briefcase off of him just so you didn't have to deal with it. That's just me. Or, and hear me out, you could have just let him keep it for a minute. Let him keep it for a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got a whole, 8-9 months before we get back to Money in the Bank? If y'all not planning to do it at WrestleMania? Like, even then, we still got a little ways to go before we get to WrestleMania. Like, why not just let him hold it for right now? If you just wanted to get rid of it, have him cash in on the NXT Championship. That has a face he can go against, somebody he can build with, and that also brings more eyes to the product, and he builds up more stars down there in the developmental territory, and it makes him look more relevant and gets him more heat as a heel. I don't understand how that wasn't a move. I don't understand how that wasn't a move. I'm not saying this in defense of Austin Theory. I'm just saying this in the defense of making sense. If that terminology makes sense. It just in the terms of booking, logical booking. There we go. That's the term I should have used. In the terms of logical booking, when you're trying to build this guy, Austin Theory, as a star, he's already got so many eyes on him. It makes no sense to really knock him down right now. He could have used the championship. What better than to have him wearing the NXT championship, and also he can wear it in NXT and perform in NXT. He don't really, and then if you don't want him to wrestle that much, you want to save him, he can only wrestle on NXT on the pay-per-views. When they have an NXT takeovers, is y'all still doing that? He can wrestle on the pay-per-views, and then he can have the NXT championship on the main roster, which does what? Bring more eyes to the NXT championship, recognizes him as the top talent in the NXT, and also keeps him as the top billed future star that y'all claimed y'all wanted him to be at one point in time. To me, that just seemed like the best way to go. But they didn't go that way. I don't work for WWE. So what happened is what happened. Again, I'm not saying this as a fan of Austin Theory. I'm just saying this in the defense of, I'm just saying this in keeping the Money in the Bank briefcase relevant. I don't understand how him cashing out on the NXT championship and winning the NXT championship wasn't the move here. That still keeps the Money in the Bank briefcase relevant, and now that makes it seem like, okay, now legitimately every single title, every single world championship can be won at any point in time. Now that keeps the NXT championship, and that brings more eyes to NXT for the simple fact that, oh man, he could get cashed in too. You never know with the Mr. Money in the Bank. It just seemed like that should have been the way they went, but it isn't. I don't work for WWE. It's unfortunate for Austin Theory. I think he'll recover from this, but I just think that the way that Austin Theory lost the Money in the Bank was just the way he lost. I have no problem with him losing, but the way he lost was just not the right move. But that's just my opinion, man. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about Theory losing the Money in the Bank briefcase and in the fashion he did. Do you agree with the decision? Do you disagree with the decision? How would you have booked him losing the Money in the Bank briefcase? Would you have him losing it at all? Would you have him kept it? How would you have booked Austin Theory in the Money in the Bank briefcase in this situation if you had the opportunity to book it? As long as y'all are respectful and logical, we can have a conversation. That's the end of my video. Hope y'all enjoyed. It's been a pleasure making it for you, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.